got about 100 miles ahead of me, so, oof. Can I just be home already? Why did I come up with this dumb idea? I took a Colnago Y1Rs on a 600-kilometer mixed surface adventure. Now, if that seems ridiculous to you, it absolutely is, and that's partly why I did it. The other reason, though, is because we don't always have the perfect bike for every crazy thing that comes into our mind. So go ahead and enjoy the race bike. Here's how I made it work on an adventure like this, and here's how the adventure went for me. Let's jump in. Morning. I am on a Colnago Y1Rs, and my adventure on this slightly rainy morning is 400 miles of mixed surface riding. Except I'm not gonna do it in one sitting, as it were. I'm gonna go 80 miles tonight, stay at a hotel, 200 miles of mixed surface the next day, 80 miles home. Let's see how this goes. I don't really know the route for today, but I happen to be on a quiet country road, so it's a good time to talk about the changes I made for this craziness. The first thing I did was add 32 mil Pirelli P0 tires. Those are the biggest tires you can put on the Y1. I would have gone to 34. Hell, I would have gone to 40 if I could have, but 32 is where we're at. And then from there, I added some K-Dex bar tape that's 4 millimeters thick. And I had to solve that out front mount problem that I'm always complaining about, because there will be some time in the dark. Now, I'm only doing 200 miles tomorrow, but that still means an early start, possibly a little bit late, just a little after sunset at the end. I have an exposure light, and I solved that problem with a combination of K-Edge and Trek pieces. I'll explain that after the ride. Hopefully it works. Seems to, I've been testing it a bunch. Oh yeah, and I forgot, there's one more thing. I switched from road pedals to SPD. I'm still riding Garmin pedals for power, but SPD version this time. So I can walk up any crazy gravel hills. This is something I harp on in every review where the bike has a one-piece bar and stem, and this is exactly why. I didn't expect to use the Y1Rs for this until the boys on the podcast convinced me I should. And that left me, and then anyone with a bike that's not exactly perfect for the ride they've planned, scrambling at the last minute to figure out how to make it all work. The way I solved this was by using a Bontrager Blender Garmin high mount with a K-Edge combo mount adapter underneath. From there, all I had to do was replace the bolt that Colnago supplies with one that I could actually tighten down. You do have to be careful about over-tightening and breaking anything when you have a bolt you can actually tighten down. That's why Colnago uses the bolt that they do. That aside, this whole system will work for a bunch of different bikes that all use a similar style for their out front mounts. And the advantage is that both Trek and K-Edge are easy to get things from in a hurry. I realize since I'm set up for mixed surface riding, there's no reason I shouldn't ride off the main road and in the hazelnut orchards. But aside from that, it's starting to rain, so let's talk about the rain gear that I have with me. So I brought Rafa Gore-Tex jacket, and that's my main rain defense. But if it gets cold, I also have, or if it's really raining hard, I also have Assos 3/4 length rain pants, and those things are absolute game changers when you pair them with bib tights. However, I've never actually paired them with bib shorts, although Assos says that's exactly what they're perfect for. So it's just a backup defense if it gets cold and really rainy. I'm hoping though that we're only gonna have sprinkles on this whole adventure. We'll see. Silly things that happen on a big adventure like this. I am riding along a fairly trafficked road and I saw an escaped chicken. We're gonna try and rescue it, or tell the homeowners that it needs rescued. Follow up on the chicken story. Bernice, the chicken, per the homeowner, doesn't go on the road apparently, except Bernice was on the road. But whatever, homeowner's not worried. Bernice free ranges, so all's well. I did my part. I'm going through a tiny little town, and I just have to share that it says it's the covered bridge capital, I think it said of the West. It's fantastic.
Perfect.
Today was supposed to be a pretty easy day, mostly flat, 80 miles. It is a brutal headwind the entire time. It is tough to hit 15 miles an hour in one direction, and if I turn 22 miles an hour, just with the wind coming from the side, not even as a tailwind, is easy. So I had to stop, do a little refuel, regroup, having some Cheez-Its, because I find that after all the sugar, it's nice to have something salty when I stop. I'm very close to the end of day one, so I feel pretty happy about that. Day one is in the books, and I'm just walking back from the supermarket where I stocked up on food for the next couple days. But as you can see, I'm still wearing my riding clothes because that's all I have with me. Seems like a good opportunity to talk about what I chose. I have a pedal ed jersey, specifically designed for ultra endurance adventures. And then I have Lacole Arc bibs, and those are again designed for long distances. And the other thing I grabbed of note is some MAP socks, which you might not think are all that important, but they're a bit longer, and I find that that is helpful in staying warm if it's just a little bit chilly. So I'm at the first aid station. I haven't been filming because it has been pouring rain. We left in the dark, and the one thing I should have brought are shoe covers, but I'm in good spirits because there's only 35 people and I got a nice little group here. I'm riding here with Eric, and things are looking up. It is absolutely beautiful. The weather has broken and it's like nice and cool and perfect. It's not raining, but we're about to start climbing. Got a 5-mile climb ahead of us. It's gonna be a little rough, I think. Eric, are you ready for this?
I think so.
Oh, this is brutal. Eric dropped me. We're climbing on gravel, and the biggest problem today is the gearing on this bike. 48-35 with 10 to 33, I believe. So the climb we just did was apparently the biggest of the day, and now, lucky me, the second climb of the second biggest climb of the day is right now. Let's take a minute to talk about those pants. In this case, I use them because they're incredibly packable, but hardshell rain pants do have another advantage. This particular set of rain pants are 3/4 length, so that means in most situations, you'd need to pair them with a very specific set of Ossos bib tights. Speaking more generally though, the reason that you want rain pants is because they keep your feet dry. And the way that works is that because bib tights are soft shell material, the rain will eventually come through, and once it does, it will run down your leg and into your shoe, and at that point you will have wet feet. Rain pants keep your feet dry. I almost did it, but the gravel is just too loose. It's like 15% gradient, and I just can't hold traction. I keep slipping out. It's only a 1/4 mile to the top. Just gonna walk it out. Little stretch, little walk, not so bad. Tell me it's not so bad to walk right here. Whew. So we're at 1:15. We just finished the last big climb before the last big climb. That means we get some flats, and then there's one more climb before the end. But for now, we get to descend on gravel, which should be exciting as always, and then spend some time in farmland. Oh, more pedaling. This is such a beautiful thing right now. I'm so tired, but it's flat and it's straight and the weather's perfect and it's gorgeous. We're just crushing miles right now. Just on the final serious climb, and it is brutal. 2 miles and 9% average, and it definitely gets steeper than that in sections, and I am dying. Well, that was a bit of an abrupt end. There was one more descent, and then a short, steep climb, and then maybe 5 miles of flat, where I pushed hard into the wind, and Eric held my wheel. Now, I never met Eric before, but we rode the entire event together, and we spent about 13 hours on the bike, and then there was about an hour and a half of stop time. And that was roughly an hour faster, at least in my moving time, than it was the last time I did the event in 2021. Maybe that was the aero bike. I encourage you to take your race bike and do crazy things with it. Third day back on the bike. This morning, I'm not gonna lie, was a little rough getting ready, but I feel okay now. Biggest thing is rough pavement. Definitely want to stand on any rough pavement. Other than that, I'm holding power all right, but I got about 100 miles ahead of me, so oof. Can I just be home already? Why did I come up with this dumb idea? Woo! I just passed 25 miles, quarter of the way done. Gotta take the small wins today. Ooh, things hurt. Just past 50 miles, and I'm not doing so well. I mean, I'm doing fine, but it just really I don't have a lot of reserves, and it does not feel good. I just passed 75 miles. That means I have 25 left. And the little trick I like to play with 25 miles is that if somebody asks me, hey, do you want to ride for 25 miles on Sunday? I would be like, hell no. That is not worth my time. That is so short. So it's good to remember, after a long day, 25 miles is nothing. I got this. I have a little bit more to go, but just like the Oregon Trail, my route ends in Oregon City. No dysentery though, I won. I made it. Final distance was about 96 miles, and no, I won't be doing 4 extra to make it an even 100. I've been here before.